Welcome back to Burning River Bushcraft. Today we're going to be taking a look at a titanium 750 milliliter cup made by Bestargot. I have an upcoming canoe trip planned to the Boundary Waters, and the canoe trip we have planned involves a lot of portages. So in an effort to save some weight, I'm going to be dropping a lot of my stainless steel cookware that I've used for years and replacing that with lighter titanium. And the first thing I went for was this 750 milliliter pot. And this is pretty exciting. Even if this wasn't lighter weight, which is a big difference, this pot has a lot of features that I've really been missing over the years. So this came as a package with a insulated sleeve, a lid, and a storage bag. And the cup itself is 4 ounces and about 117 grams. And I'm not a big gram counter. I'm not a big backpacker, but weight is weight. And if I don't have to carry it, that's going to be better off for me. So just looking at the cup itself and what I've added to my kit with this nests in a regular 32-ounce bottle, just like all the cups I've had for years. So this is going to sit all the time with me. It's just a great way to carry it. But I can also turn this into an entire cook system, and that's what I'm going to do for my upcoming trip. As far as just the handles go, this has full-size handles, so I can get 3 fingers on this. This is not the pot style where it looks like you're trying to drink out of a pot that you'd cook on a stove with. Those aren't as comfortable. I usually switch those out and improvise a handle like this. I've made larger handles like this out of like coat hangers and things for other projects, but this comes with it right from the get-go. The most important thing is right here. So this bail lets me take it from just being a cup that I would nest under my bottle, and I can fill this with other cooking implements and make a lightweight 1-person cook system with this. So essentially now I can leave my bush pot at home when I'm by myself, and I can hang this over fire. I can make medicine, I can boil water, I can make coffee, I can heat up water for my instant meals. And this aids in pouring it as well as supporting it over a fire. If I'm not packing a full cook kit, this is pretty much how I'm going to carry it. This sits in the bottom of my bag. I nest my stainless steel water bottle in here and I'm good to go. If I was really weight conscious, I could put a plastic bottle in here. Again, I am not generally that concerned with weight, but on a longer trip like the Boundary Waters trip, I just might do that. So when I want to turn this into a 1-person cook kit, I have a lid as well. And the lid sits down on here. It's got a nice handle that is not plastic, so I don't have to worry about this thing melting if I put it right in the fire. I can put a stick in here. I can pop it off. It's going to boil a lot faster with the lid. It's going to be more fuel efficient. And I've got these nice vent holes as well, so I don't have to worry as much about things boiling over. So when I turn this into a cook kit and add the lid, my total weight is 5.5 ounces or about 143 grams. And I've got the scale out here beside me. This is not something I really worry about all that often. So when I'm using this as a cook kit, it's probably more important, but on the outside as well as on the inside, you can see gradient marks. And that's really important to me. If you were as good as fishermen as I am, you would probably want to carry backpack meals as well. So if I'm just making coffee, I'm not as concerned with how much water's in here, or if I'm boiling water to disinfect it, I'm going to fill it up to the brim. But using those gradient marks is going to help me keep those meals hydrated to the proper rate. So this is really enough right here. This thing folds flat, fits in any of my bags. I've got full-size handles. I've got this awesome bail that centers so I can set this over a fire. The lid has no plastic to melt on here. I can take the lid off with no issues, and it fits firmly enough that I can flip it upside down. Now throw in the fact that this is titanium and I just lost weight in my gear. That's outstanding. But I also have an insulation wrap on here, and this is a Reflectix style lining, and it's kind of thick. This is a heavy material as well. And it's actually got a loop here so you can hold this thing. So that's one of the biggest disadvantages to having a metal cup in the woods is you better drink fast or your coffee's going to get cold. Most of the time I'll drink about half the cup and I'll have to sit it back on the fire to rewarm it. If you were making maybe a ramen noodle or something like that, it's going to, again, get cold before you can mix it. So that is a negative, and titanium is actually worse than steel. So this zips up so I don't have to try to wrestle this thing in and out. And when I get it in here and get it zipped up, I've got this pretty cool handle right here. So at this point, if this was too hot, if I was letting this cool down a little bit, it's going to cool at a more controlled rate with this insulation in it. It's also going to help rehydrate or cook food. If you took it off direct heat, put it in this insulating wrap, put your lid on it, you're going to have indirect heat applied to that. So it's going to let your fuel last longer for your stoves. But my primary use for this is going to be to stretching the amount of time that I can enjoy my coffee in the woods. So total weight is 190 grams or 6.9 ounces with the lid and the koozie. This also comes with a storage bag to hold the whole assembly together. So total weight of the entire cook assembly is 204 grams or about 7.2 ounces. And this is hollow in here. So I've got room for food. I've got room for a small stove. There's a lot of possibilities that I just have never really explored before. This is more in the backpacking realm. Now, I'm not a big backpacker. My son has recently taken an interest in backpacking and started asking me some questions about it. So as a father, I'm going to start backpacking. And this is going to be pretty much the core part of my kit. This is great for one person. This is great for if I just needed a cup, a normal cup for myself. I have an extra container, an extra pot that I can boil water in if we're in a group setting. And I just want a cup of coffee for myself and don't feel like going through the larger pot that we would be using in a group setting. This is something I am going to expand and turn into a complete cook kit. So the Bestargot 750 milliliter cup is exactly what I was looking for. This is way more than a cup. I've got a one-person bush pot. I've got an ultra lightweight cup. I've got an insulating wrap to go around the cup if I'm drinking coffee or trying to keep my food warm in cold weather. There's a lot to this. The quality on the Bestargot titanium pot is right on par with any cookware I've ever seen. The handles open and close freely. The bail opens and closes with no issues. You saw the lid fit well enough where I could take it and flip it upside down and it's still all there. I really am impressed with this so far. It's lightweight, but there's nothing cheap or nothing flimsy about this. This is going to be as long-lasting as any stainless steel cookware that I've used. So I'm not a big fan of clean gear, so I'm going to go ahead and boil some water in this and just make a cup of coffee real quick to give it a try. But till next time, this has been Jamie Boggs with Burning River Bushcraft. See you soon.